I'm very thankful to God. All of us are healthy and sound. This past week, for the church, we have very good news. November 25th, President Donald Trump appointed the new Supreme Court judge in time to cast the one vote needed, 5-4. The governor of state New York disobeyed American Constitution. He has, in America, according to the Constitution, is the separation of church and state. The state have no right to interfere how church congregate, or how the church worship God, or how many, or how they sit. It's constitutional. And they found a church in Brooklyn. Actually, it's two churches and one synagogue. In Brooklyn, they have such big building. And the government required can only have 10 people attend service. And they have more than 10. So they got a ticket, fine $15,000. But they have many people, and they have money. They're able to go to the Supreme Court to get a judgment. And this Amy Coney Barrett cast a decisive vote, and her first vote was on the right direction, because the state has forget. They think it is a time for them to overrule the Constitution of America. They require how many people can go to church to worship God. So they disobey the Constitution. If I were them, I would request that federal agent arrest the governor because he sinned against the Constitution. But this world, we know that it will not happen, because this world is under the control of Satan. There's no justice. According to my knowledge, I'm not saying good or bad. I'm just saying the fact. If a family has managed to purchase a house, they have to pay property tax, school tax, all kinds of tax on the house, because you have a house. So this tax. If you do not pay, they auction your house. If you do not pay tax, right, Gordon? The government will auction your house to get tax money. But when other nations owe a lot of debt, billions of debt, they can waive it. You don't have to pay, become nothing. I think it is very, very unfair. When as a nation owe debt, they should auction their capital. Right, Gordon? Auction the nation's capital and get paid. Your own countrymen, your own citizen, you have no mercy. When they have no money for pay tax, you auction their house. But foreign government can owe billions of dollars and do not have to pay. I don't think it is fair. Okay? But everybody have their Gnostics Okay? So we don't argue about that. But it is a fact that happening right in front of my eyes. And right now, I have posted over there the Supreme Court 5-4. The state has no right to regulate how many people, how they sit, how they worship God in the church. Okay, but I know the governor will go free. The mayor of New York City will go free. They can disobey the Constitution and do what they want to. If any church, any religious organization disobey their declared rules, they can give them ticket and fine them. But when they disobey Constitution, they can go free. This is fact, real life, okay, happening in our life. But today, I have a very good lesson to share with each other. And as I say all this year, if people believe Jesus and we do, this world will have justice. And this world will be at peace, never have a war or warfare. If everybody believes Jesus as we do, COVID-19 death will not happen. All the COVID-19 death will still be alive. I can say many of them will still be alive. Believe Jesus as we do. I don't want to mention the doctor's name. He's here because he might not agree with me. Don't look at him. Okay. Within us has a simple prevention. Gargle with salt water. Somehow, when I heard he said that, I always remember. I hope he will remember everything I said also. That is fair. If I remember what he said and he does not remember what I said, that is not fair. A doctor within us has a simple prevention. Gargle with salt water. Each time when there is little irritation in the throat, remember that. Okay? Everyone remember that. I always remember. All these months, that's how I stay alive. When I feel something, feel different in the throat, Kevin, remember, something different in the throat, gargle with salt water. You still feel it one more time. You still have it one more time until it disappears. And that's how it works. So easy. Why do anybody have to suffer with COVID-19? Why do anybody have to die? And as reported, okay, COVID-19 get into a body through the throat, mostly through the throat. Wear mask is because people cannot keep their mouth shut when meeting with other people. If you keep your mouth shut when you're meeting with other people, why you meet with other people then? It's because you want to communicate, you want to say something, okay? Back and forth. When you say something back and forth, your saliva, mouth water fly all over. And they said, that's the way to infect other people. That's the way to spread COVID-19 all over. And too bad, many people disagree. They continue to have party fun. Last night before last night, up to 20 people have lots of party fun. Drinking, shouting, without wearing masks. Junction Boulevard and Roosevelt, 393 people in a club. Okay? Drinking, shouting, having party fun. Astoria, another one. Okay, these people disagree, so they continue to have their party fun. Salt is cheap and common everywhere. All we need is brush our teeth and gargle with salt water each day or as often as needed. Okay? This is how I live all this month. Okay, as I say, I only tell what happened in reality. And I am living this way all this month. I don't want to quote the doctor's name in case there is this kind of, they call medical malpractice. Okay? But when I say nobody can do that because I'm just saying what happened to myself. That's how I live all this month. And if people believe and carry everything I said, lawsuit will not happen because they will all be the Church of Christ. They will all be my brother and sister. Between brother and sister, there's no lawsuit. That's 1 Corinthians chapter 6. Okay? So we can say whatever we want to according to what we found in the Bible. Believe Jesus as we do. Second one. I wish all I can, by the grace of God, I say all of my life, believe Jesus as we do. Everything else is okay. Dry orange peels, boil in water. Drink that water. I drink a lot, thanks to my wife. And I think, David, you drink many of this water, right? He nodded his head. Drink dry orange peels, boil in water, and drink that water. Prevent your body, help your body from COVID-19. See, if they believe Jesus and we do, they at least have these two little things. They will still be alive. Like me and you, or you and I. Got a real life example. Nobody can argue. If they're not here, they're out their work. They cannot say a thing. They can say nothing. Okay, it's so easy. Salt water, orange peel, boiling water. Okay? Orange peel are cheap and common as salt everywhere. Even Vincent's house have some salt, right? Okay? It's so cheap. How about orange peel? Dry one. Why so many suffer and die because of COVID-19? Two so easy things. As we do, we're still living pretty well. As I say, by the grace of God. If all the people in America believe Jesus as we do, they be living, worshiping like we do. Even God has the wisdom to come here and sit here. Windy too, okay? Husband and wife always together. That's according to the Bible. Because the two become how many? You don't know what it is, right? One. Okay. As reported, COVID-19 by itself does not kill. Reported, okay? I read it from the newspaper. Even YouTube reporters. COVID-19 by itself does not kill. It is COVID-19 plus other sickness that kill. Okay? According to report I read, COVID-19 by itself do not kill. If the COVID-19 kill only those body already has lots of other disease, sickness, or weakness, or whatever, unhealthy body. In another word, COVID-19 kill only unhealthy bodies. Okay? The bodies that is already weak already a lot of sickness in there, already contain a lot of disease in that body. The more the death, the faster. COVID-19 kills only weak, sick, unhealthy body. Especially the weak, the sick, and the needy others to care for themselves. Those bodies cannot even take care of themselves. Those are the bodies get killed by COVID-19. I'm just stating the fact that I read and heard the report. COVID-19 does not kill healthy body. Healthy body cannot even feel it, even if infected. Healthy body can't even feel it. I have examples. Boris Johnson. Do you know who that guy, right? Boris Johnson. The guy who never combed his hair. He's famous to me. Never comb his hair. His hair can stick up everywhere, okay? Boris Johnson tested positive for COVID-19, but no symptom. He can feel it. He did not feel it. He doesn't really know. He's carrying COVID-19, but he had to be quarantined for 10 days. Just suddenly somebody reported, medical field reported, 7 days, 10 days is enough. 14 days, you wasted another 4 days. That 4 days is wasted, not needed. He was quarantined only 10 days. For what? To save the weak, the sick, and the unable to take care of themselves. To save those bodies. Not for himself, not for other healthy bodies. But he still had to quarantine himself in order to save the sick, the weak, and the unable to take care of themselves. That's reported also. Everybody can read that if you pay attention to the news. Number 4, why then rob, R-O-B? You know what rob means? Okay. Rob healthy body their privilege to have party fun. Young people, healthy body in America, over the world, they have the privilege to party fun. Especially this thing called Saturday Night Life. Saturday Night Life. Okay? Party fun. This morning's report, Johnson Boulevard and Roosevelt, a club 393, no math, drinking alcohol, drinking wine, having party fun. Astoria, 6 club, SEX, many people, okay, overnight, they care not. They care not. The government has 10 people limit in family party, in home, in club. And look like only church have to obey, but regular people, unchurched people, they do not have to obey. Here, I recorded this one. November 14, 2020. New York City police found 3 places, party places. One place, there's another place in 36th Street close to Midtown Manhattan. They have a lot of clubs over there also. One place have up to 200 people. Nobody wear masks. One up to 300, okay, without wearing mask. They drinking party. They're having party fun. You even have some club. They sell this alcohol without license. And the police arrest the organizers, dispersed the rest. This is a dumb idea. So they can go, if any one of them are infected, if any one of them carry COVID-19, you disperse them, go into the world, into the society, into the neighborhood to infect everybody else. That's a dumb idea. They should keep them there. Since you like it, you're having, okay, stay here for the next 10 days. If no symptom, then you go free. So I remember in the revolution, Chairman Mao in China, I don't know whether it's true or not. I was in Hong Kong. During Cultural Revolution, he hated people do not go to work in the field, 耕田, but they play mahjong. They wasting time, energy playing mahjong. So he came up with a law. If they play mahjong, let them play unstopped 3 days. They all give up. Here, the wise idea should be, now you have party fun, 10 days, no one leaves this place. Until we found there's no COVID symptom, then you can go. This should be the way. Or stay here, test one at a time. One by one, test everyone. Test each one. All those that have no COVID-19 can go free. The rest, quarantine. It should be that way. As a preacher, I know that. Police, government, do not know. They only know how to require church, how many people we can meet. Huh? These healthy bodies should be kept at same spot for 10 days. And if no symptom found, then they can let go. Maybe they can find not one. Test each one, quarantine the infected. It is possible none of them carry COVID-19. Then why do they have to stop? Why rob them from party fun? They have no COVID-19. They will not infect anybody. For what? They have to stop having party fun. I'm on their side. If there's no COVID-19, why can they not have party fun? They will not infect anybody. And why the healthy body have to stop partying for the sick, for the weak, for the needing other people to care? What do they have to do with all these sick, weak, unable to take care of themselves? Why? When it comes to the usefulness, this is cool reality. The word usefulness. The weak, the sick, the needed other to care are wasting social, national resources. In cool reality, it does look like this. In physical body-wise, the body lying there can't even move by itself. Even yearning, the nurse or whoever have to take care of them, but still breathing. And they count a living body. can't even move by itself, unable to move living body, useless, wasting resources. Cruel reality. It's true. But if people believe Jesus as we do, they will see differently. They will all know within each of these bodies still alive, maybe sick or weak, unable to take care of themselves, can't even move. But if people believe Jesus as we do, they will know in each of these bodies there is a living soul, precious living soul. As long as a body, you kept that body alive, the soul has a chance to be saved. As soon as that body ceases to breathe, or as soon as a body die, the soul goes to hell. So if everybody in the world, young or old, healthy or not healthy, believe Jesus as we do, they will have this knowledge, wisdom. In each of these sick bodies, there is a living soul. If you let that body die, the living soul will go to hell. Yes, our God is full of compassion and mercy. You find in James chapter 5, verse 11. Our God is full of compassion and mercy. Full of compassion and mercy for what? For the body that cannot move by itself? For the body that's very sick and suffering? For the body is weak? I have no comment. See what Jesus said. See what Jesus said about the body. Even the healthy body, as long as it's a body, it's in the flesh. That's John 6:63. The spirit gives life. The flesh counts for nothing. Hey, watch this. The body counts for nothing. Jesus said, okay, record it. In John 6:63, the flesh, the body, healthy, sick, weak, whatever, is a nothing. Think about this. Godhead is full of compassion and mercy for this nothing. Now we see Apostle Paul, what he said about his body. The body, the flesh. For to me, to live is Christ, to die is gain. Apostle Paul said it. The physical body, to die is the gain, is gain. Better. Okay? He said, I'm between choose to live or not to live. He said, for to me, not to live and to be with Christ is far better. But why do I choose to continue to live in this body? Because the church needed me. Okay? You can find the scripture. The church needed Apostle Paul to live in his body. And that was why he lived in his body. For to himself, his body to die and his soul be with Christ is far better. That's how he put it. And Jesus said the body is nothing. God is full of compassion and mercy for something that's nothing. Think about that very carefully. Am I very happy? Cindy enjoys, choose to come here to listen to this. God is full of compassion and mercy. Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourself with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, patience. Because if they believe Jesus as we do, they will put up the best to help maintain these weak, sick, unable to take care of bodies. Make them stay alive as long as possible. Hopefully, some of the soul can be saved. That's the best reason. But it requires people to believe Jesus as we do. In order to discover this kind of wisdom in the Bible, God is full of compassion and mercy for the soul that live in each one of these useless bodies. Remember, I put it in here, in quotation, useless body. To some extent, this useless body is very, very useful for some people who organize some organization and apply government funding, and one organized make 1, 2, 3, 5 million a year. Utilize these quote-unquote useless bodies. Gargle, you know what I'm talking about? We do have some people make lots of money, got rich for quote-unquote government money, apply, organize something to take care, to keep these bodies alive, so they get a lot of money from the government fund. This body to them is very, very useful. All they need is get one of these bodies to sign their name on a form, and they keep that, and then they report to government and make lots of money. To them, it's very useful. But in another word, if we keep this body living, hopefully, someday, some way, one or two of their soul can be saved. They'll be worthy. Okay? That's what we say. If people believe Jesus as we do. 60-some years ago, now maybe almost 70 years ago, 65 to be exact, 65 years ago, when I dedicated my life to God to be a preacher in Hong Kong. Being a preacher is someone useless, no future. 冇出息。廣東話你識唔識講㗎？冇出息，沒有出息。中國普通話有沒有這句話？沒有出息的人。In Hong Kong, that was a year, that was a time to be a preacher is someone who has given up their future. It's people who have no future. If people do not know how to read books, they need to survive in God's mercy and God's compassion. They have no ability to make a living for themselves. Those are the people become preachers. That was the norm in our society in Hong Kong at that time. And somehow, those preachers who preached to me about message like this, it touched my heart. and I dedicate my life not to make money, not to get rich, but to preach the gospel of Christ. So that all these dead and sick people, their soul can be saved. Somehow when they preach the message, it touched my heart. And I hope that I preach this message, some heart will be touched also. This useless body, there is a soul within that body, each one of them. And their soul is precious. Their soul needs salvation. Yes, we have to clothe ourselves with compassion and mercy for souls living in each of these quote-unquote useless bodies. We do not want to see souls end up in Hades like this one. The rich man also died and was buried. Sooner or later, even healthy body will come to this point. They will die, they will become weak, sick, and died. And their body will be buried. In Hades, lift up his eyes, be in torment, and see Abraham and Lazarus far away on the other side, paradise. Abraham, Lazarus, their soul in paradise. But his soul is in Hades, and he will be in hell, in torment forever. He cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me. Send Lazarus to dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue. Story like this touched my heart. So I want to be a preacher to touch other people's heart. And hopefully some of the soul will listen, will be touched, and then follow Jesus to the end. Their soul will be in heaven, not in hell. Jesus wept for souls going to hell. Even Jesus, he cried bitterly. That's what wept means. He cried bitterly. I remember I heard my teachers, and even at the time, the Jews misunderstand Jesus Christ. When he was led to the tomb of Lazarus, this is another Lazarus, okay? This is his friend. He had died 4 days in the tomb for 4 days. His sisters and relatives and friends, they cried bitterly for his death. And they led Jesus to the tomb. They cried bitterly. When Jesus saw that they cried, Jesus wept. The translation is W-E-T, wept. That means cried bitterly. Some people misunderstand. They say Jesus loved this guy so much. He missed him because now he was my friend and now my friend has died. He cried for that. Remember what Jesus said? Body is what? Nothing. Body is nothing. And to Jesus, when Jesus was personally there, nobody can die unless he let them die. To Jesus, nobody can die. To Jesus, he is alive. He can just say, Lazarus, come out. He came out. That man can hear his voice and he came out. That's not recorded. Why did Jesus have to cry? Because he's dead. To Jesus, nobody died unless he let him. To him, he can come out anytime he wants him. He wants him to. Why he cry for that? No. Jesus cried for all these people who are crying. Those people crying for his death because all these people will go to hell. This is the greatest miracle Jesus can perform in this world. And Jesus saw that these people, their soul will still go to hell. Jesus cried bitterly for them. Clear to your head, okay? To Jesus, Lazarus is not dead. To other people, he's dead. But to Jesus, he can make him alive anytime. He said, and later he said, Lazarus, come out. He came out. Recorded. He came out alive. To Jesus, nobody died. Because he can ask them to come out anytime. But why he cried so bitterly? Because they will see this greatest miracle, and this soul will still go to hell. For souls go to hell, Jesus cried. And we have to have compassion and mercy for souls who may go to hell. Jesus said, I'm the good shepherd, and good shepherd lay down his life for the sheep. For these souls, Jesus was willing to go to the cross, to shed his blood, to purchase the church of Christ, so that there's a way this soul can go to heaven rather than go to hell. And Jesus also says, for what shall a man be profited if he shall gain the whole world and forfeit his soul? What shall a man give in exchange for his soul? To God, the soul is worthy more than the whole world. It's precious. In all this dying, in all this sick, unable to move bodies, there is a living soul. And that soul to Christ, to God, is so precious, more valuable than the whole world. That's how my heart was touched many years ago. And I was willing to dedicate my life until now. I'm still preaching that same story. For the soul that's in the useless body, even in a body unable to move by itself, there is a living soul worthy of our effort to keep it alive. Hopefully, we can save that soul. Apostle Paul declared, only for this life we have hope in Christ. We are to be pitied more than all men. It's a fact of life. If only for life or the body, we have to put up all this patience, compassion, mercy. Not that. To the weak, I became weak. To win the weak. I have become all things to all men, so that by all possible means, I might save some souls. This is a powerful message many, many years ago to me. Apostle Paul said, I dedicate my life. It's not because I do not have intelligence. In that, frankly, he said, I have more than you do. But he is willing to become all things to all men, so that by all possible means, he can save some souls. That's the case. So we have to clothe ourselves with compassion, humility, and love, so we can help some soul, even the souls in those bodies that are already sick and dying, so they can be saved. Conclusion now. Jesus shed his blood to purchase the church of Christ. That's Acts chapter 20, 28. I think my brother and sister remember that recently I keep using this, Hebrew 10, 19, 20. The name Church of Christ, very powerful right here. Hebrew chapter 10, 19 to 20. Why did Jesus came to establish the Church of Christ? Why did Jesus shed his blood on the cross to purchase the Church of Christ? For one reason, not for the flesh. For one reason, to save souls, the living soul, do not have to live in hell. For the living soul, you have to live in heaven, paradise first. Because God has predestined, especially today, I use the word predestined. Ephesians chapter 1. God has predestined all the soul will be saved through THROUGH. The word through. Okay? If I read too many times this, my tongue becomes hurt. You be here younger than I do, right? Gordon.
You don't need to
No?
bite.
Okay.
You don't need to bite. Just
So you have to
touch.
bite your tongue, right?
No, you don't. Just
No.
touch.
Okay.
Just touch.
Through the church of Christ. That's why Jesus established, shed his blood on the cross. Why? To purchase the church of Christ. Why? So that souls, even souls in those dying bodies, can go through the church of Christ to heaven, not to hell. May the Lord bless each one of you. Stay healthy.